Welcome to Pigskin Passion TV, and it's your boy, the Black Mamba, and it's early morning, October 25th, and this is episode number 26, and we back. Another week of fantasy football in the books. Halfway through my fantasy season, and guys, who would have guessed, but I'm in the winner's circle again, where after the first 3 weeks it looked like the season couldn't be over fast enough. There's still hope. I'm on a 2-game winning streak and slowly but steadily climbing the ladder. And this week I inked out a victory against another team that isn't faring so well this season. And luckily, I needed this opponent this week, the Fish Whisperer. I made a bad move this weekend. I initially had Josh Dobbs as my, I was going to put a waiver wire in to pick him up as my quarterback. At the last moment, I was going to change to Tyrod Taylor, and I found out Deshaun Watson was starting and decided I wanted to pick him up. What a bad move. I mean, he played like 5 plays. As you can see, took a point away, 1.8 points away from the team. So that's pretty much been my season, guys. I mean, every week I seem to have 1 or 2 players that they just, for some reason, get knocked out of the game. So, but luckily and fortunately, this week I was able to be on the other side and come out with that dub. With that said, let's jump right into this week's waiver wire pickups. This week, my waiver wire pickups really aren't gonna be a whole lot of action. I'm trying to strengthen up my running back position, and I need a kicker this week. So I'll throw out a few names for you guys if you're in need of other positions, but as far as my needs this week is very light. So if you need a running back, I would definitely go out and try to scoop up Darrell Henderson with the Los Angeles Rams. He was the backfield leader this week, and he played 10 more snaps and ran 5 more routes, had 6 more carries than the other guy that they elevated, Royce Freeman. So it looks like he's going to be like the bell cow. I think Royce Freeman actually had more yards, but Darrell Henderson was heavily involved in the offense. He had 20 touches and 66 yards and a touchdown. So he was very productive out there, and he also had 100% participation in the 2-minute offense. So if you're in need of a running back, Darrell Henderson would be maybe 1A on my list. 1B, I got this guy, Devin Singletary, and he's probably going to go under the radar. So if you don't have a whole lot of money like myself, and you don't want to be in competition with a lot of people to pick somebody up, I think Devin Singletary may be your guy. Reason being is because I know that he probably went under the radar. They had the Houston Texans, they had a bye week this week, and I'm thinking there could be a shift in the backfield. The last game he played more snaps than Dameon Pierce. He had 34 snaps to Damien's 24. He ran more routes. He ran 18 routes. Pierce had 7, and he almost split carries. He had 12 carries, and Pierce had 13 carries. So in addition, he was more productive with 7.2 PPR. So I think this could be like a hidden gem that if you are in need for a running back, this could be your guy. That could kind of put you over top. I'm definitely going to go out and try to get him this week, and if I am able to scoop him, I'm going to put him in my starting lineup. Another guy you can go out and pick up if you're in need of running backs this week would be Pierre Strong. Ford got knocked out of the game, and I think he's going to be out for about 2 weeks. If all the information I've been reading is correct. Pierre, he split carries with Kareem Hunt last week, and I think this is more likely to be a running back by committee. I'm not as high on scooping him up as I am on Singletary and Henderson, but beggars can't be choosy. If you're in need of a running back right now, you just want to fill the position. So Pierre Strong would definitely be somebody if you're in need that I would try to get as well. If you are not in need of a running back and you just want to have somebody stashed away, I think this guy would be a good pickup if he's available in your league. Kenneth Gainwell with the Philadelphia Eagles. I think he'll be a good person to have on your bench to try to get ahead of the curve if you're not in need of running back and needing to start anybody immediately. Simply because, it's been a carousel with running backs getting hurt this year. So you kind of want to be ahead of that curve, because once it happens and you have to dish out a lot of money to get them, you may or may not, depending on what your budget or how much money you have left for your waiver wire. So Kenneth Gainwell is somebody that I would definitely go out and just have just in case something was to happen to DeAndre Swift. If you're in need of a wide receiver, Jalen Hyatt with the New York Giants, I think this guy would be a good pickup. Last week he ranked second amongst the Giants wide receivers in snaps at 48. He led in target share at 19%, and he had 75 yards. So I think he can be a home run threat at any time. He has a lot of speed. So if you need a wide receiver this week, that may be somebody that you could just kind of plug into your lineup for this week. And at tight end, if you need a tight end this week, especially for those owners who had Zach Ertz, Trey McBride might be a good pickup this week. I read an interesting fact. The Cardinals, they have the 5th most tight end reception out of the NFL teams this year, and they have the 4th most tight end targets for the year. So I think Trey McBride would be a serviceable tight end to pick up. So if you need a tight end, then scoop up Trey McBride. I stream my defenses every week. This week, I don't actually need a defense because I have the Kansas City Chiefs. I may stream from some weeks, but for the most part, I think Kansas City is going to be my defense for the remainder of the year. But if you are in need of a defense, these two defenses I will go out there and take a look at and see if they're on the waiver wire. The first defense is the Atlanta Falcons. They're playing the Tennessee Titans this week. Ryan Tannehill, he has a high ankle sprain, so it's more than likely that he won't play. And if he doesn't play, then Malik Willis and Will Levis are going to be the guys that are going to fill the void for him. And check this out. Willis, he replaced him the last game that when he was hurt, and he was sacked 4 times on 15 dropbacks. And the Falcons, they've also had positive fantasy outings the last two games that they've played against Washington and Tampa Bay. Atlanta would definitely be a team that I would stream if you're in need of a defense. Another team that I would take a look at this week, if you need a defense, would be those New York Giants. The last 2 weeks they've had really good weeks. They limited Buffalo Bills to 14 points, and they had a really good game last week against the Washington Commanders. They sacked Sam Howell 6 times last week. So the Giants would be another team that I would focus on for defense if you are in need. And those are my waiver wire pickups for this week, and some probable waiver wire pickups that would still be out there. So I hope this gave you guys some value. I hope that you are able to go out this week, get another dub, and pick up somebody off the waiver wire that's going to contribute to your team. I hope this information was good for you, and I have a PSA announcement. Spike that like, comment, and subscribe. And it's your boy, the Black Mamba, out.